Hello, hello, and welcome. This is a reading on a strength that you have that you might not be aware of. It's funny because when I do these kinds of readings at seminars or different networking events, when the person sees the card, they're always so shocked and say, no, 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 I can't do that. And I always remind them, this is a strength that you're not aware of, which is exactly why it may sometimes feel like it doesn't resonate, so it's a bit of a shocker sometimes for some people. So I think these types of readings can be a lot of fun because they can open us up to new and higher perspectives of who we are, different facets of our authenticity. So I wanted to do a reading like this for you today to help you tap into new perspectives and facets of who you are. I always just want to show gratitude. I feel honored to be able to read for you, and I'm excited to jump in and just understand more about what it is that you have come here to offer the world, and not just the world, but just yourself, even through being authentic. I want to do more readings in connection to authenticity, helping people have the courage to just be themselves and understanding that in being yourself, that is how you open up the door to opportunities, to prosperity, to peace, love, joy, happiness, whatever form of abundance it is that you wish to manifest. Authenticity will always be the key to that success. And that's what I want to help you do, open up those doors and connect more deeply to who you are genuinely. So let's take a look at the three piles. Here we have rose quartz. First pile has rose quartz. And this is a stone that I genuinely appreciate and I often have with me. Here's a much bigger raw version. You see is as big as my hand, much bigger raw version of rose quartz. I have multiple rose quartz. I'm pretty sure I have one in every room of my home because it's a stone that communicates the energy of love. In its crystalline structure, it has love, the high vibration of love saved within it. And love is one of the highest vibrations here on not just on our earth plane, but in the universe. And so, it is our essence. And so some of you who feel drawn to pile one may feel drawn to rose quartz. And it's a stone not just of love for others, but also compassion, self-compassion, compassion and love for the self as well. Here we have the second pile, tiger eye. And I like how, one side is glossy, the other side a little matte. And I think sometimes we're like that. There are sides of us that can be glossy and sides of us that can be, that we kind of pull back. And in our authenticity, we're not always seeking to be the shiny one. Sometimes in our authenticity, we're just seeking to be relaxed and be ourselves. With tiger eye, I often associate that with an energy of like an inner abundance, an assertiveness and leadership. But the thing that I feel here, I feel energy in my sacral chakra as I hold this, as well as this idea of inner abundance. For the third pile, we have clear quartz. And clear quartz is an amplifier. It amplifies the energy of the stones that's around it. And it's a stone of clarity. I appreciate the stone because when you pair it with other stones, it just helps to increase that energy. So it's, to me, very deeply connected to an energy of wisdom, an energy of guidance. So take a look at the three piles and just feel what is calling to you. And then depending on where you feel called, if you check the description, the time codes for each pile are below and you can press the time code and jump to the pile that resonates for you, and there you will receive your reading. Hello, pile number one. Welcome. We're looking at your strength that you might not be aware of. Again, you have the rose quartz, which is deeply connected to the heart chakra, but I'm also feeling a bit of a tickling in my throat chakra. So some of you may be communicating messages of love. You may be someone who is very deeply connected to this vibration, maybe generous and enjoy sharing the energy of love with others. Let's take a look at your cards. You're the only deck to get 2 cards. When I was shuffling, I felt pulled to both cards, and I thought, okay, well, maybe both belong here. So let's take a look. Martyr, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. The transcendent nature of service. This for me is Pisces 12th house energy. Because what many don't know is the zodiac is actually telling a story. And the story begins with Aries and it ends with Pisces. And Pisces is very deeply connected to that evolution of the soul, because the soul begins the journey. You know, it's like Aries is an energy of the soul coming down to begin the earth journey. And Pisces is the soul, you know, returning to the universe and being cognizant of universal connection. Both are cognizant of it. Aries, because it's the beginning, um, as well as Pisces. So your second card is the Alchemist, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So this is an energy of transformation. And we just talked about the zodiac being the evolution of the soul. So I feel like the gift or the strength that you all have that you may not be aware of is the ability to serve yourself as well as others or even a cause by helping through the energy of transformation. An alchemist is able to take base metals and turn them into gold. And when we're talking about spiritual or, you know, evolutionary alchemy, it's more of transforming, you know, a lower vibration into a higher vibration, or transforming challenges into wisdom, transforming difficult experiences into gifts that actually lead to mastery. So one strength you have that you might not be aware of, or you may be aware of it, but just not quite aware of just how powerful you are in that space, has to do with Scorpio energy of transformation. You know, the phoenix rising from the ashes, the scorpion transforming into the eagle. Okay, so let's find out more about this gift. At the bottom, we have 8 of Cups with emotional withdrawal. So it's leaving something familiar. And when I pulled the 4 piles at the bottom, after pulling, the 3 piles, after pulling the 3 piles at the bottom was child wounded. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. opens the learning path of forgiveness. So it's interesting that we have 8 of Cups as well as the child wounded at the bottom. And look, as I was putting it back, the child wounded slid away. And as it slid away, it revealed the queen. So, as we talk about this energy and this gift of alchemy, this gift of transformation, I feel like what you're doing in your own life, and perhaps even already in the lives of others, or you will eventually be doing in the lives of others, is taking this energy and this emotional intelligence, wisdom one, out of experiences and healing the inner child so that the queen can emerge. Radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. And this is not gender specific. We're in a time when the divine feminine power is rising. So a lot of us already have a deep connection to masculine energy because we've been in a patriarchal society in many different countries and cultures. And now the divine feminine energy is rising. So we're healing our masculine energy, and then we're allowing the divine feminine to come through. So some of you, your transformational path is going to be helping yourself and others move from the child wounded into the queen. Okay, what a beautiful message to come through so spontaneously. Authority, that's Emperor. Temptation with the Devil card. Stand your ground, 7 of Wands. Okay, so this is interesting right next to the Alchemist and the Martyr. Look how we have the Martyr and we have Stand Your Ground here. So I think what's important to clarify with having authority here and stand your ground here, what's important to clarify with the Martyr is not about unhealthy self-sacrifice. The Martyr is not about being the giver until the giver has nothing else to give. This isn't what this is about. The Martyr is about standing in your authority and understanding the power of service, the power of being able to take what you've been through and transform it into a gift. And as you do that, as you teach and show your message, it's not about self-sacrifice. It's not about loss. It's actually about power. I was receiving a reading from a shaman once, and she channeled the energy of Jesus. And there was a message that some people think that Jesus's weakest moment was in, the time of carrying the cross and the crucifixion, but that he communicated that was actually his most powerful moment. And so when we talk about martyrdom, we're not talking about unhealthy self-sacrifice. We're talking about following through with our life purpose and engaging in the energy of service, free of fear and free of worry about what other people think. It's the deepest connection to who we are and allowing that to come through. That doesn't mean that any of you will be martyred or end up on a cross or some kind of experience that is painful. If anything, with the child wounded at the bottom, I feel like a lot of you have already experienced difficult situations that you've been able to transform, and you're also maybe in the process of transforming and even leveling up another level, So this is not about suffering. That's not what this is about. This is about giving yourself permission to recognize that you have an inner strength, an inner ability of kindness, of empathy, and emotional intelligence. And now I feel like there's permission here to live that from a position of power. Because some of us who have this alchemy and martyr energy, we may get stuck too much in a lower vibration of the martyr. And we're, like I said, giving and giving and giving until we can't give anymore. But when we're balancing and marrying divine feminine and divine masculine energy, we're balancing the energy of giving and receiving. Giving being the masculine, in order for conception to happen, the masculine must give and the feminine must be able to receive. So if whether you're male, female, or non-binary, when it comes to your essences and inner energy, you're balancing both of these energies. And so the question is, where are you? Are you in the giver? Are you in the taker? Are you balanced? Are you able to give as well as receive? When people give you compliments, do you swat them away like he's swatting this away? When people want to support you on your path, are you swatting it away? Because that would indicate difficulty connecting to the feminine energy of receiving. So I feel like with this alchemy energy, you're helping people release limitations and transform it. Do you see the heart in the key? Transform it into love. He can see that the key is lighting up. You know, he can see his time is at an end. The key of love is lighting up. And that is what you're able to help people to do. And so one of the opportunities for you is to come into your inner power and authority, be the authority in your life, to stand your ground. And as you live this energy, you will also be an example to others. Let's find out how you can step into that energy. Harmony, 6 of Cups, there's a decision. At the bottom, 9 of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. And in the traditional tarot, it's a man sitting with 9 cups behind him. And I always see those as trophies, like rewards coming through. Look at this treasure chest of gold and the flowers. I always look at the bottom of the card because it brings a foundation of energy with the cards that were pulled. Here's the 8 of Cups, emotional withdrawal, pulling back from what does not serve and stepping into your power. This is all about stepping into your inner authority and power, releasing imposter syndrome, and recognizing your gift of helping people to transform. We have another one here, moving on. So the question when I pulled these cards, okay, wait a second, I move it up a little bit. The question when I pulled the bottom row was, you know, how can you step into this gift, this strength, and be more aware of it? And so you can do that by making a decision to step your energy deeper into love. The 6 of Cups can be about love, can also be about the need to make a decision. And there's usually in the traditional tarot, there's an angel above the man and the woman. So this, we're marrying divine masculine with divine feminine to allow birth to happen, balancing the energies of giving and receiving. So those of you who are aware of this gift, but you're, you know, maybe on an extreme of giving too much, you can come back and understand that simply being an example is already helping people through your example to step more into their power, into their ability to change their lives. So it could be writing a book. It's not always coaching energy, but it could be coaching energy, therapy energy. You know, it could also be, you know, being that facilitator. But it's definitely moving on from this old energy, pulling back from the old and allowing you to step into your power. Make a decision to be that authority in your life. Make a clear decision to leave behind what doesn't positively serve you. Step into your power, stand your ground. And as you do that, you'll be an example for those who are seeking to do the same. And some people may not even be aware that they're seeking to do the same. So what do we need to move on from? What do we need to let go of to step into this alchemist energy? Okay. Adversity. Again, here we go again, you know, accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So finding the gift in the challenge. Letting go of worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Honesty. So letting go of self-deception. At the bottom, forgiveness. Okay. So we're letting go of self-deception and understanding how powerful we are, stepping into power, standing our ground. And so we're letting go of adversity, understanding we've done the job, the child wounded, we've done the job. And now we can step into our queendom. And with the energy of forgiveness, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. With forgiveness, we're letting go of the bags. We're putting down the bags and giving ourselves permission to let go of focus on the person, to let go of focus on the situation, to let go of focus on the disappointment that was weighing us down. And as we do that, we release blockages. And as we release, we make space to let the new in. And forgiveness can be a process of awareness, becoming aware of how we're feeling and aware of the results that those feelings and thoughts are producing. What are the feelings that the worry is producing? And is it conducive to what you actually want to experience? If not, we can let it go. And sometimes we worry because we have the feeling that we're doing something. We, in situations where we feel we don't have control, sometimes worry gives us a feeling of having control. But what Scorpio teaches us is that true power lives within. And we may not have control over the circumstances around us, but we do have control over how we react to those circumstances. And are we greeting these circumstances from a position of power or from a position of disempowerment and worry? Okay. Okay. A goal-oriented person. Okay, back. Take care. Enemies are working against you. Temptation will test you. So I feel like there's an opportunity to move consciousness away from fear that something could go wrong, fear that somebody doesn't want the best for you. And there may be situations that come up that kind of remind you of that energy. But understand you're stepping into something new. Let's move this down. You're stepping into something new, right? Releasing the worry, releasing the adversity, because that may have been what you experienced in the past as you were going through this transformation. It may have been what you experienced in the past. People not necessarily being on your side or supporting you, but you're the authority in your life. And as you learn these things, it can be interesting to journal about how you release the worry, how you release the adversity, and you step into self-honesty about your true power. And then, write that book. What was your pathway to healing and happiness? Help other people transform. So it's understanding that sometimes our wounds actually help us to become stronger. At the bottom, fulfillment. This is about skills and learning and, recognizing the skills you have and also gaining new skills. You have divine support. Priorities. So you can make this strength a priority. Prioritize your own transformation and potentially prioritizing helping others to transform. You have the divine support you need. 48 is a number of abundance, and the 4 is emperor energy, is laying that foundation. And as you lay that foundation, you can step into 8 energy, which is an energy of earth, and prosperity. So lay that foundation so you can step into the prosperity that is yours. Set that priority, make that decision. When we're working with the universe, we have to be clear on the decision we made. We have to be clear on our intention. Who is that future self? Oh, daffodil. The sun shines brighter when you are here. That is so beautiful. At the bottom, blushing bride, your intentions and heart deserve to be known. I'm going to take this because this fits so well with priorities, right? Your intentions and heart deserve to be known. So set your intentions, communicate them to the universe, and then start living as if they're already there. You know, be that future self. Make decisions as the alchemist. I'm going to put your rose quartz here because I just love that. You have divine support and the sun shines brighter when you are here. We as a collective are brighter because you are a part of this collective. Thank you, pile number 1, for your gift of alchemy. Thank you for living as an example of what is possible, coming out of the darkness into light. Thank you just for overcoming, for your growth. It's a blessing when we have individuals within the collective who are doing the work. It helps to raise the vibration. Thank you so much. I would love to read for you again very soon. There are other readings on my YouTube channel, as well as opportunities to work together one-to-one that are in the description, whether it be through a Starseed Birth Chart reading or perhaps even courses on turning habits into superpowers or free your mind and liberate the people, which is a leadership course. Thank you so much, pile number 1, and continue to be that alchemist who helps us to step out of the darkness and into the light. Hello, pile number 2. Let's take a look at the strength that you have that you might not be aware of, or it could also be a strength that you have that you might not be aware just how powerful you are in that space. As our stone, again, we have tiger eye. And tiger eye is, again, for this particular reading, I was feeling it in the sacral chakra, but it activates all 3 lower chakras, the root, the sacral, as well as the solar plexus. So it's going to be a stone of determination, a stone of strong foundation. It's vitality, energy. It strengthens the physical body, strengthens the blood. And, the tiger as a spirit animal is one of leadership, assertiveness. So we're grateful to have this tiger eye energy with us as we do this reading. So let's take a look at your strength. Oh, the artist, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So before some of you switch to a different pile, let's understand that this is not the only form of an artist. An artist isn't just a painter or a writer. An artist, again, is someone who takes the inspiration of life and translates it into symbols, or they take the symbols of life and translate it into something that is easier to grasp. So to me, they're almost like translators between the symbolic and the literal, So some of you who might feel like, but I'm not creative. Creativity is just another form of resourcefulness. It's just another form of expression. So your way of expressing as the artist might be a bit different. Now, some of you may resonate. Some of you may be singers. Some of you may be writers, painters. What I heard when I touched the card was actors. I'm an actor, is what I heard. So some of you watching this may have a gift for acting and not even be necessarily aware of it. So maybe something you want to tap into. What I'm feeling is that in your sacral, which is the space of the reproductive organs, there's something that wants to be birthed through you, where your creative energy is able to flow. And as you allow that creative energy to flow, you can allow something new to take form. So let's find out more. Some of you may be poets, and some of you may even be athletes. It's about having an art, having a gift. Woo! Look at that. The sacral chakra just jumped out. I told you as I was doing this reading, I just feel it so strongly, the sacral coming through. Look at the bottom of the deck with the throat chakra. Interesting that the sacral just jumped out. There is something that wants to be birthed through you. You have a special gift of artistry. And you know, artists often, through stillness, Four of Swords, are able to receive the inspiration for their gift. Okay, so some of you are artists when it comes to wisdom. That's super exciting. And look at this orange. Look at the sun. Some of you are artists with regards to wisdom. This is the Hierophant. You know, the 5. This is the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. So this is also about your values, principles, your belief systems. You have a way of translating your values, your principles, your beliefs in a way through different symbols. Some of you may be spiritual teachers. So in warming up your sacral chakra by using tiger eye, by being creative, by expressing, you can really allow this gift to come through, this strength. And it may require you to go into stillness because, you know, as I read birth charts, I also look at past life energy within the birth charts. And some of us, in fact, all of us, depending on different placements, moon, Saturn, south node, there's always information about past lives. And so you may have past life placements in Sagittarius, for example, or even in Gemini. And so even if you're not a Gemini or Sagittarius sun, you may have placements in these signs or houses that have to do with wisdom, belief systems, philosophy. Some of you are philosophers, as have philosophy as art, and you may not be aware of it again. And at the bottom of the deck, when I was pulling the 3 piles, was child wounded. So I feel like, you know, in the child wounded says, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. And forgiveness is about letting go of focus on the situation or person that is causing a blockage, and releasing guilt, releasing shame, because sometimes, whether we perceive ourselves as the culprit or not, sometimes, you know, self-compassion is just necessary. Self-forgiveness is necessary because some of us can really be perfectionists who feel like we weren't able to help this person or able to help that person. And maybe if we could have just done this, this, and this, and the energy of regret just kind of wells up. And so forgiveness is about letting go, putting down the bags, putting down the focus on the things that are no longer serving. And some of you may have gone through different situations with the child wounded at the bottom of the deck that actually help you to step into wisdom and to use what you've learned to be an inspiration to others. So this could also be Chiron energy, you know, Chiron, the wounded healer in the birth chart. You know, I know people in my generation have Chiron and Gemini. So to me, this is the Gemini Sagittarius axis of wisdom. You're bringing wisdom through art. And again, your style of art may vary. Let's find out more. I'll even pull another card to find out more about your style of art. But first, let's just take a deeper look. Stand your ground at the bottom of the deck. That was also in pile number 1. So a lot of us are really coming into our power. Memories of love. Discontent and boredom. Interesting that you have the 2 4s. Four of Swords, Four of Cups. So there's something that wants to be given to you, and maybe you can't see it. Look at him looking down, facing backwards, facing more towards the darkness than towards the light, the opportunity, the abundance. So some of you may genuinely just not be aware of the gift that is inside of you. And with the memories of love here, Six of Cups, some of you may be facing the past, more focused on the past. But look, accelerated motion. Things are moving forward. You might not see it with him looking down, but things are moving forward. They're already moving in a positive direction. So I feel like with the past showing up under sacral chakra, as you let go of, any worrying and reminiscing on past energy, your sacral chakra will begin to awaken. The light will begin to shine through. The creativity will begin to be rejuvenated. And then as you look up, allow your chin to just rise, you'll see things are moving forward. Things have changed. I have grown. More opportunities are coming in. Harmony. This also came out in the first pile. This is the Lovers. Spiritual strength. So to me, this is an energy of duality. And, you guys may be in a space where you're making a decision to view your life, to view things from a higher vibration so that you can step more into this artistry. Viewing what you've been through from a higher perspective with the third eye here, and understanding how what you've been through was happening for you, not to you, because, it inspires your art. What artist do you know that didn't have some kind of interesting story of overcoming? So many artists tend to have these stories of challenges, and then they take that challenge and they really translate it and allow it to move through their art. And some of you, as wisdom, with wisdom here, who may be spiritual teachers, you're taking your path of healing and restoration and translating it in a way that is inspiring to others. It may be even teaching others. And some of you, you may be bringing your wisdom into your art form, whether it be acting, playwriting, whether you're on some stage, you're painting, you're speaking, you're writing, you're dancing, you're singing, or even if you're in a leadership position at work, or you're in a position of being a strong resource at work, you may be one of those people at work who just always seem to have a solution. They seem to be able to find the way. They're incredibly resourceful. If they don't necessarily have what they need in order to create the solution that the team is looking for, you can count on them to create it, to find it, to have that wisdom, that bright idea. Okay, so we wanted to find out more about your gift. I wanted to pull out the Sacred Rebels deck for that. What this gift of artistry may be wanting to communicate to you. Can you tell us more about, dear high vibrational guides, dear spirit, Holy Spirit, what is this gift? I just saw the card Shock of the New. So some of you may be surprised that this card came out for you, but you're resourceful, you're gifted. Let's find out more about it. Every journey starts with a single step. So it's funny, I saw Shock of the New as I was shuffling, and then every journey starts with a single step. So some of you are just now unlocking this gift, unlocking this strength. I cut the deck accidentally, seeing the true you. So it's starting to see yourself from a different perspective. At the bottom, conscious connections. So it could be that community and connection to others help you to wake up to this gift, wake up to this ability. Let's find out more. It's always exciting to shuffle this deck and just see if it's all just going to fall out of my hands. There are 200 cards in this deck. So every journey starts with a single step. This is just it's a new beginning. This is a new opportunity for you to look up and see that things are moving forward. Okay, so some of you are dealing with a bit of a financial pinch. Let's find out more. It reminds me a bit of the starving artist. But look at this sun at the bottom, July. So some of you may, within the next 8 months or this 9th month cycle of birth with the sacral chakra here, the 9th month cycle of birth, start to see something completely new coming through. Okay? Completely new coming through. Happiness. You are on the road to success. Okay, so this guy came out here. So we want to see the change. You are on the road to success. Oh, there's more here than I thought. Okay, but there's a bit of indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. So some of you may feel like, I did make a decision. I am doing this art. I am doing this work. I am writing this book. I posted, I'm posting videos. I am out there. The question is, what is your energy? Is your energy decisive? So you may have decided and be out there sharing your art, but have you really decided this is what you're going to do? I was just watching a video before I started this reading where Lisa, her last name evades me, but she's a motivational speaker. I often enjoy tapping into her videos every once in a while. And she was talking about burning the boats. And when I quit my corporate job to come into this spiritual teaching space, I considered myself burning the boats. I was like, I'm not going back. Here in Germany, where I am as an American, you have to have references. I was like, I don't need a reference because I'm not returning to the corporate world. And the only corporate world I will return to is a business that I have established myself. In my energy, I felt like I burned the boats. But then there were moments where I noticed I was wobbling, where I was like, I don't know, is this really going to work out? Somebody would come up to me and say, can you make money doing that? That age old annoying question. And then I would be back in this energy, back in this energy, oscillating between I'm on the road to success and financial pinch. And I feel like this is why it's here. Are you oscillating? Have you decided this is your path and you are successful? You are happy? So I feel like there may be some oscillation here. And it's interesting that it's showing up on the Lover's card, because this is also an energy of the divine marriage, the masculine with the feminine, giving with receiving, foundation with creativity, and you can create a strong foundation with creativity, but it's time to make that decision to say plan A is the only plan. That's what it was about in the video. Plan A is the only plan. I sailed to the new shore and I burned the boats because this is where it's at right now. This is where it's at. So have you made the decision to tap into your spiritual strength, to be cognizant of your gift of wisdom, and to just enjoy your artistry and to allow that to come through? So now I feel like there's an invitation to take that first step and say, okay, I am a spiritual teacher. I am a writer. I am a singer. I am a dancer. I am that leader. I am that boss. In whatever space you're in and you're allowing your artistry to flow through, I am on the road to success. That's the only plan. That is the only way. This is the only path. Look, the path up the mountains. The only one is the road to success. It's clear. So we can release this indecisiveness and say, this is it. I am on the road to success. This is it. Beware of self-delusion. So I feel like beware of this looking down into the darkness, because look at the accelerated motion right next to it. You're this star. You're this shooting star. Beware that you think it's not moving forward. You think this is what's happening, and when in fact it's this. Great personal sorrow. I feel like this is connected to the memories of love, releasing sorrow and disappointment and coming into happiness. Look at this, happiness twice. Beware of getting stuck. I feel like the dragon is like, burn it away. Dragons are incredibly powerful. They're so powerful. They can fly to the highest heights. They spit fire. They love luxury and treasure. Release the sorrow. And, this is something I expanded on in pile 1. It's interesting how here we have child wounded. And then as I was putting the deck away, because I was pulling the 3 piles and put the deck away, and this card slid away to reveal the queen. So this is not gender specific, but some of you, the child wounded has been healed. The child wounded is ready for new things, is ready for that new step into a new journey. And so we can release this delusion that the child wounded is holding us back, and we can step into happiness and queendom. Right? Letting go of this self-delusion. Okay, so how can we step more into this artistry? How can pile 2 step really into their artistry? Divine support. This came out in the first deck. I'm taking sustenance. What are you feeding yourself? And not just food, because food has a vibration. So are you eating high vibrational foods? Yes. But also, what are you feeding yourself as far as words are concerned? Insight. Look at that third eye coming in again. Insight. This is the third eye chakra. So this is a new perspective. This is, when the third eye chakra is in its highest vibration, it's released delusion and illusion, and is stepping to this higher vibration, this higher perspective of truth. So some of you need to realize you're on the road to success. Look at this accelerated motion here. And take that higher perspective. Allow your third eye to open. Surrender. Surrender is about trust. It's about trust. Spiritual practice. Okay, your spiritual practice will help you to open your third eye. One spiritual practice you can do is to lay down. You lay down to meditate. And you take an amethyst, and it doesn't have to be these crazy amethysts that I have. It doesn't need to be a big amethyst egg or a raw amethyst, but it can also be, do I have one handy here? It can also be a small polished amethyst, and just place it. Let's say this is you laying down. This is you laying down, and this is your amethyst, but it's small. This is your head. You're going to place it a little bit above your head, and then just meditate for 15 minutes. Laying there, and meditation is just about relaxation, allowing yourself to connect, to calling your higher self, ask your higher self to connect with you. And as you meditate, only do it a couple times a week. You don't need to do it every day. That's too much. It may give you a headache. My cat is confirming. And just allow yourself to connect to the higher energy, and that will support you in opening your third eye. So your spiritual practice should have something to do with cleansing and then replenishing your energy, as well as then connecting to your higher self. And I always put Reiki videos in the descriptions of my card readings to support you all energetically on your path. And I always put cleansing videos. And when you cleanse, you're letting go of this stagnant energy that no longer supports you, so that the higher vibration can come in. And when you're cleansing, you're letting go of the old and allowing the new to flow through. This came out in the first pile as well. So make your spiritual practice a priority. Some of you are stepping into spiritual teacherhood and wisdom. Some of you are light workers who are meant to share your gift of artistry here in whatever form you have that gift. Make it a priority to start seeing in a new way. In fact, we're going to slide these personal sorrows. We're going to slide that away because that's no longer relevant. We're in this accelerated motion. You're that shooting star. Okay? Okay, let's get one last encouraging message. So consider having a morning routine, and it doesn't have to be rigid. I feel like if morning routines are rigid, there are certain personalities that won't stick with it. I have this thing I call rebellious discipline. And with rebellious discipline, you're giving yourself permission to figure out what works for me. So some people may find morning routines too rigid. And so find a routine. Oh my gosh, happiness at the bottom of the deck. Happiness is found with your purpose. So some of you will step into happiness as you live your inner artistry, your inner gifts. So find a routine that allows you to connect to your higher self every morning. And sometimes it's just as simple as saying, I call my higher self and my soul to me, and I ask you for your wisdom and your guidance throughout the day. Open my heart to receive and to recognize my intuitive hits. And then before you make decisions, before you do anything, just stop and breathe and allow yourself to feel, does this resonate with me? Does this resonate with my energy? And you can practice by, deciding whether to turn left or to turn right, trying to find the way to a place using your intuition as opposed to your GPS. I mean, there are different fun ways that you can open up to a spiritual practice into a deeper connection with your intuition and your foresight. Okay. Learn from friendships old and new with cornflower. So some of you are, with this memories of love, there were different experiences that might not have felt good to you, but you learn from them. And as you release the old, you're stepping into soul family energy and new friendships that may encourage this spiritual practice, that may encourage you to tap into your inner gifts and continue up to this road to success. So open yourself up to love, open yourself up to new opportunities. And again, at the bottom of the Rebel deck, when we pulled this card, every journey starts with a single step. There was conscious connections. So as you heal yourself, you will allow a new soul family, new partnerships to come through. So, and that's also what the Lover's card is about. It's not just about making decisions. It's also about allowing love to come through. Pile number 2, you are a gifted artist in whatever space that may be. Allow happiness to come through and step into your ability to for higher perception, for psychism, for intuition. And continually, as you live your authenticity, you will bless us as the collective, and we will have the opportunity to learn from your example. I hope you will let me know in the comments below what it is that your gift of artistry is and what it is that you're moving towards. Let me know if you're using the Reiki videos, if you're, what spiritual practice that you chose to step into. And I hope that I will have the opportunity to read for you again very soon. There are more readings here on YouTube, and I'm doing my best to post multiple times a week, at least twice a week. I'm working with Sunday and Wednesday at the moment, but I'm hoping to post more. And if you would like to work together one-to-one, there are links in the description. And I'm just sending so much love and so much gratitude that you decided to allow me to help you to open up your third eye. Speak soon. Hello, pile number 3, with your clear quartz, your amplifier. Clear quartz with the energy of clarity. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we're finding out more about a strength that you have that you may not be aware of. And we are going to allow the clear quartz to support us, to bring us more clarity in this strength that you may not be cognizant of. And so remember, when I turn it over, you may be like, huh, that's not me. But it's a strength that you're not necessarily connected to just yet, that you're able to connect to, or maybe one that you're aware of, but you're not quite aware of just how powerful you are in this space. So let's take a look. Ooh, the Hermit seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. Look how he's opening his coat and this light is shining out of his heart. Because the hermit usually has a lantern in his hand in the traditional tarot deck. And this hermit, the light is shining from his heart. So some of you may be the Gandalf of your friendship groups, not necessarily the one going to destroy the ring, but you know who needs to come together in order for it to be destroyed. You know what needs to be done. You know who to speak to. You're that wise person, because the hermit always speaks to me of wisdom energy. Because when we pull back to seek solitude and focus on our inner lives, we can connect to past life energy of wisdom, right? This life and past life energy of wisdom. Oh, where did this come from? This is the card from pile number 2. Okay. So we're talking about an inner gift here that wants to shine through. And it's interesting because I haven't really mentioned the shadow aspects, but here, withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. I don't think you're someone who refuses to help those in need. I think maybe, though, some of you aren't necessarily aware of your gift for wisdom, and you may be pulling back out of fear of negative judgments. Look, split the deck, wisdom card, disruption. So some changes are coming in that space. You know, some of you might not be aware, or you may be aware. Split the deck, transformation. And you're receiving the opportunity to become more aware of this gift. I'm just mixing a bit because I used these in the past 2 piles. I just want to make sure that mixed well. So there's some changes coming in. And so some of you are probably already isolated hermits, spending a lot of time with yourself. And as you've done that, you've learned, you've grown, you've tapped into inner wisdom. And some of you may be pulling back. Some of you may be pulling back because you're becoming aware of the fact that there's a gift within you that wants to shine through. And so, you know, this reminds me of Aquarius 11th house, as well as almost all of the signs in the deck have to do with this balance of being among people and among others, but also knowing when to pull back to regain energy. So some of you may be pulling back to tap more deeply into your inner wisdom. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have trapped in fear. See, that's what I was thinking about with the withdrawals from society out of fear or negative judgment of others. So some of you may not always even feel comfortable sharing your gift, or you may feel a little anxious among others. But look, right below trapped in fear is light, is optimism, accelerated motion, okay? So things are moving forward. Oh, and below that, recognition and reward, fulfillment of wishes. Okay, so let's see. Prosperity begins. There it is. So there's some changes coming. Partnerships and alliances, some love energy coming through. Truth, the judgment card. Okay. This is, again, it's interesting because it just reminds me a little bit of Aquarius energy because of the partnerships and alliances in truth. So when you're, and this is also a bit of Libra's message, you know, the Libra Aries axis is teaching us, as well as the Aquarius Leo axis, is teaching us about who we are within group spaces. And I'm wondering, you know, are you allowing your wisdom and the truth of who you are to flow even when you're in group spaces? Because as the hermit, you've got a lot of wisdom. And are you allowing yourself to move out into group energy and to share that wisdom that you have within? With the truth card, we're also in the traditional tarot, we're awakening. We're coming out of the depths and awakening. Base chakra. Interesting that base chakra is right under prosperity. because it's our root chakra that helps us connect more to security and financial abundance, as well as all different kind of forms of foundational security. I'm going to take this one. What is this one? Okay. Movement, choices, decisions. Okay. So there may be a choice that needs to be made in the space of transformation. Look at that. Fertility, partnerships and alliances. Right under it, fertility, hope. Right under truth. So you sharing your truth, that's when hope can come through. That's when things can start to work out, is when you open that coat and you allow the light within to shine through. You may want to speak to your heart chakra. Nourish and send loving message of gratitude to your heart chakra. Look at this. Because you've got a lot of love. You've got a lot of wisdom, within you. You may be someone who's able to provide clarity and help others to amplify their energy and step more into their creative talents and gifts. Material and spiritual prosperity. Prosperity begins, and it's material as well as spiritual. I feel like since we already have the material prosperity here, we can put it here to underline the spiritual prosperity. Because it's coming, and look at the Empress with fertility. It's all coming in. It's all coming in now. As you speak your truth within groups, within partnerships, as you share your expertise, you can allow that prosperity to come through. And it's important to remember in certain spaces that we're sharing our expertise. I did a video recently, I think it was on TikTok, about the importance of sharing your wisdom and not your fear. Some of us, when we experience different things and we hear that someone's doing something similar to what we were doing, we then start sharing our negative experiences instead of our expertise, which would actually help people to avoid those experiences. So this is an opportunity for you to share your wisdom and your expertise. And if you feel like I don't have any, the Hermit card is saying it's just because, you've isolated this gift. You could be the extrovert of all extroverts out there partying, but it may be that you might not be in physical isolation, but it may be that you've isolated and hidden away this gift within you. And it's wanting to come out. It's wanting to be birthed. At the bottom, great, great fortune. Okay, so let's see what can usher in this great, great fortune. So some of you may feel like, with the broken bridge here below, like, how do I solve what's happening around me? I feel like it's not working. This is a general reading, but some of you may be feeling like, it's not working. What I'm doing isn't working. When I show who I am, people don't want it. Opportunity or windfall. Your soul community, the ones you are meant to inspire through your authenticity, they're coming. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. The fox always shows up in times when there's a change in career as well. So some of you may experience a change in career, and just know you can call on the fox spirit animal in that wisdom. Look, great good fortune, opportunity or windfall, prosperity begins, material and spiritual prosperity, fertility, hope. What else can I say? Okay, so some of you have experienced a bit of disappointment, but there's a lot of positive energy coming through here. Let's put these down here. So you are shrewd and resourceful. Look, this shrewdness and resourcefulness is being flanked by opportunity, windfall, and great good fortune. So we can let go of the disappointment. Why? Because you are protected from negative forces beyond your control. Keep your life in balance. Okay. When I touched the scales card with keep your life in balance, I felt an energy of fear. So I feel like, it's natural to experience fear on this earth plane, but it's about keeping it in balance, keeping your perspective closer to truth. And the truth is that things are meant to work out for you. You're meant to have that stable foundation. Things are meant to work out for you. Let's find out more about this hermit gift. It's hiding, just like the hermit. I felt like these two wanted to come out. At the bottom, legacy of light. So again, this is wisdom coming through past lifetimes as well as ancestral gifts. And with the legacy of light, I always associate this with maiden, mother, crone, 3 levels of wisdom, 3 different kinds of wisdom. Defend to the end the worthwhile. And I feel like this has to do with not giving up. With this withdrawals from society out of fear of negative judgment of others and this disappointment in a friend or lover, I feel like some of you may be afraid, like, what will people think of me? What will they say? I've had, negative experiences in this space in the past. And there's a message coming through. You're protected. You're protected. Don't allow these fears to get the best of you. Stand up for what you believe in. Look at the owl right at her head, this wisdom coming through. And there is pain here and disappointment, but this is the truth. The truth is that this is a wise being. And because of what was experienced, you're even wiser. This was also in pile number 2. Every journey starts with a single step. So you're giving yourself permission to step into the new, not to give up, and instead to step into a new experience. So the hermit says, okay, I may pull back, but I'm going to pull back and heal, and I'm going to pull back in monk mode, and I'm going to level up, and then I'm going to come out and take that new first step. I'm going to move forward on my dreams and my passions. Okay. How can pile number 3 use their gift? Positive outlook. How can pile number 3 use their gift? Drive. So it's time to move forward. It's time to take that next step. Be candid. Wow. Throat chakra. So speak up, share your truth, share that wisdom that is within you. Insight. This came out in the second pile as well. So some of you may feel called to watch the second pile as well, which also had to do with, allowing your gifts to come through. This third eye card came out there. This journey card came out in that pile. So this is very positive energy. It's time to come out of isolation. And again, even if it's not physical isolation, but isolating this gift of wisdom that you have, it's about letting it go and starting to move forward, taking that first step, defending what is yours to the end, meaning not giving it up, not allowing it to fall back into the grayness, but bringing it to life, into color. Be candid, using your gift of self-expression. And with the third eye, we're talking about a higher perspective, a higher vision. So some of you may have psychic energy, channeling energy, and some of you may be afraid to show that you have that gift because you don't know what people will say about you or how they'll feel about it. You may have a strong intuition or you may have a gift of helping other people get clearer on their own gifts, their own desires. And you can allow that to come through by acknowledging your higher perspective. By doing, I can post a video for the third eye chakra in the description below, as well as the video for the throat chakra below. So you can start speaking the truth of this higher perspective that lives within your heart. According to the highest, greatest good, according to what is appropriate. So, and I mentioned in every deck, at the bottom of the deck, when I pulled the 3 piles, was child wounded. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. So I feel like we're letting go of insecurity and we're stepping into the queendom because, the cards slid away when I was putting down the cards after pulling the 3 piles. They slid away and revealed the queendom card. So we're letting go of the wounds and understanding what we experience. Chiron energy helped us to become wiser, more emotionally intelligent, more empathic. And now we're balancing this giving and receiving gift. Let's take a look at a positive message for you on your journey. I didn't pull these cards. I don't even know if I pulled them in the last one, but let's see. It caught my eye. So what can we release as we step into this gift? What can pile 3 release? Release the doubt. Okay, pile 3, release the doubt. You are free. You are free. Step into freedom. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about what you want. Be honest and be candid in your communication with others. Don't just take what is given to you. Start getting clear on what it is that you want. This is Libra. Libra's message, Libra Aries axis is saying, don't just be cognizant of the needs and wants and desires of others. Start getting clear on what it is that you need, what it is that you want. Pride. Sorry, I gotta make all this fit. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So start being proud of who you are. Stop hiding it. Stand up for who you are. Stand up for your gifts and allow them to be seen. You are free. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Release the doubt and step into this freedom to create the life you want to live. And be proud of yourself. Be honest about your gifts. At the bottom, empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. And I feel like it's funny with this empathy card and these both sides. I feel like you can still be a hermit, but there needs to be the person who comes out and allows themselves to share this gift. And again, for those of you where it's not physical hermitude, a word I just made up, it's not really the physical aspect of being the hermit, but the isolation of this gift. You also have the ability to choose where you share this gift and where you choose to pull back. We don't have to be in a space of overgiving, but hiding our gifts to the point that is, moving into extinction will not lead to happiness. And there are some of us out there in the collective who need your wisdom, who need, whatever gift that is that's shining through your heart. And you can live it by just being your authentic self. Tap into your authenticity. Good partnerships are made of equal amounts of positivity. So those of you who experience disappointment in the space of partnership, you have the opportunity to open up to love, to open up to romance, to open up to the soul family. If you've been a hermit, some of you may find that you're actually a bit of an extrovert. And when you go out and you start speaking and showing the truth of who you are, that magnetism will help to bring in this partner, this soul family, these friendships, whatever aspect of relationship it is, into your life. Forget me not. Always remain true to your intuition. Oh my gosh, that was a slip. Always remain true to your intentions. Wow, what a powerful slip. Always remain true to your intuition. I would go with that message. Forget me not. I feel like your intuition is saying, forget me not. We can go out there. We can share who we are. We can live in the fullness and brightness of who we are. We are protected. I'm there for myself, and my higher guides are there for me, protecting me as well. My angels are there protecting me as well. And I, in the process, will always remain true to my intuition. I will remain true to my inner clarity. So pile number 3, this is your reading. Thank you so much for giving me the honor of reading for you. It's always a delight. Like, I just love doing this. And, if you like to work together one-to-one, there are links for astrology, birth chart, or progress chart readings below, as well as courses, fun courses such as Turn Your Habits into Superpowers, where we use astrology to understand that certain habits that we have are actually useful. And we often hear in society, stop doing this, stop comparing yourself to others, stop doing that. And there's actually a purpose behind these habits. And when we tap into what that purpose is, we can turn them into superpowers. And that is a course that I offer, as well as the course Free Your Mind and Liberate the People, which is a leadership course. So thank you so much. You can also send me a message. I don't send messages, but I do make myself available if you would like to work together. Thank you so much, pile number 3. Take care. And I am just so incredibly proud of you. Move forward in the beauty of who you are.